My name is Srishti. I am 27 years old and live alone in a small rented flat in Pune. My life has never been easy. My marriage broke down 4 years ago. My husband Vishal was a nice person, but our thinking never matched. He was so engrossed in his career and family responsibilities that he had no time for me. Slowly, our conversations became limited to fights. Finally, I decided that I will live my life my way. After the divorce, I did not want to be a burden on my parents, who live in a small village in Kolhapur. I started a new life in Pune and took up a job as a librarian in a school. I love books. Whenever I was alone, I would get lost in the world of books. But books could not fill the emptiness inside me completely. I used to laugh, meet friends, but at night when I returned to my small room, a silence would surround me. I rarely spoke to my parents. They wanted me to return to the village and remarry, but I didn't want to give up my freedom. Still, I hadn't heard my mother's voice for months, and I was missing my father's loving scoldings. I thought, why not go to the village and spend a few days with them? I booked a train ticket online. The 9 p.m. train was from Pune to Kolhapur. I packed my small bag, which contained some clothes, a book, and my mother's favorite sari. Reaching the station, I saw that the platform was crowded. There was a cool breeze blowing, and I opened my book and started reading while waiting for the train to arrive. After a while, the train arrived. I found my seat, the upper berth. I boarded and sat on my seat. There was no one around me yet. I took out my phone and texted my mother, "Mom, I am on the train. Sukash, I will reach by morning." The train started. I was sitting near the window, and the cool breeze outside touched my face. Then a boy came and sat on the seat next to me. He must have been around 30 years old. Black jacket, jeans, and ear pods in his ears. He was watching something on his phone and was smiling slightly. I ignored him and concentrated on my book. But after some time, I felt hungry. I took out biscuits from the bag and started eating. Then he looked at me and said, "If you don't mind, can I have a biscuit?" I am hungry, and I left my food at the station. I hesitated a little, but there was something in his smile that I could not refuse. "Yes, of course," I said, and extended the packet of biscuits towards him. He took a biscuit and said thank you. Then he introduced himself. "My name is Aditya. I am going to Kolhapur." "You?" "Srishti," I replied. "I am also going to Kolhapur to meet my parents." "Wow, what a coincidence," he said. "I am going to attend my friend's wedding. I don't have any family in Kolhapur, but my friend is like a brother to me." We started talking. Aditya was a freelance photographer. He used to travel the world, take pictures of beautiful places, and sell them online. There was a passion in his words. He started showing one of his pictures, in which the rays of the sun were shining on the snowy peaks of the Himalayas. "I took this last year," he said. "The peace there, it cannot be described in words." I was mesmerized by his words. There was a depth in his voice, as if he was living those moments, not just pictures. I also talked about my books. I told him how much I loved the stories of Jane Austen and Ruskin Bond. He laughed and said, "You seem like an old soul. These days people read more reels than books." The night was getting darker. The speed of the train and its sound were driving me to sleep. I said, "I need to sleep a little. I have to get up early in the morning." "Yes, me too," he said. "Good night, Srishti." I lay down on my berth, but couldn't sleep. Aditya's words were going through my mind. His laughter, his stories, his passion. Everything was so vivid. I interrupted myself. "Srishti, what are you thinking? This is just a random meeting." When I woke up in the morning, I saw that Aditya was already awake. He was sitting near the window, looking at the view outside. He saw me and smiled. "Good morning. Look how beautiful the sun is rising." I looked out of the window. The redness of the sun was spreading over the fields. "Really, really beautiful," I said. We had tea together and chatted. He told me about his friend's wedding. He is my college friend. His love story is nothing short of a movie. For 5 years he fought his family for his girlfriend. Finally, now they are getting married. "Wow," I said. "Where does one find such love these days?" "You do," he said with a sparkle in his eyes. "It's just a matter of finding it." The train stopped at Kolhapur station. We both got off. I got a call from my mother that she was at the station. I told Aditya, "I have to go. My parents are waiting." "Yes, I also have to go to my friend's place," he said. "But Srishti, can I meet you again? Your words, your style. I will never forget it." I laughed. "You are a photographer. You make everything romantic." "No, really," he said. "I want your number. I will send you my pictures." I gave him my number, and we parted ways. Mom and Dad were very happy to see me. I went to the village with them. I spent the next few days with the family. Mom made my favorite khichdi for me, and Dad told me old stories. But somewhere in my mind, Aditya's words were going around. 2 days later, I got a message from him. He had sent a picture of an old temple in Kolhapur, which was being illuminated by the rays of the sun. Along with it, he wrote, "This picture reminds me of you. Calm, beautiful and deep." I replied, "You are also a poet." He sent a laughing emoji and wrote, "Sometimes poetry is also written. By the way, are you free this weekend? I am coming to Pune. Can we meet?" There was a strange stir in my heart. I thought, am I ready? Is this right? But then I said to myself, "Srishti, life has given you a chance. Don't waste it like this." I said yes. That weekend we met in a small cafe in Pune. Aditya was just that. Joyful, passionate, and a little mischievous. We talked for hours. He told me about his life. He said he too had been broke many times. He had a girlfriend who left him because she was fed up with his uncertain life. "But I never gave up," he said. "I guess life gives us chances again and again." I told my story too. I told how my divorce was a shock to me, but it made me stronger. "I am no longer the same Srishti who was afraid," I said. "I now want to live my life my way." He listened to me attentively, then gently held my hand and said, "Srishti, you are very special. I want to know you more." In that moment, I felt as if all the hesitation in my heart vanished. I smiled and said, "Okay, Aditya, but slowly. I need time." "Take as much time as you need," he said. "I will wait." Over the next few months, we started meeting regularly. Sometimes we would stroll in the gardens of Pune. Sometimes we would spend hours in bookstores. Aditya taught me photography, and I gave him my favorite books to read. Our friendship was slowly turning into love. But I was cautious. I didn't want anything to be rushed. One day, Aditya invited me to Kolhapur for one of his photography projects. He was working on a story of a village. I went with him. We spoke to the villagers, listened to their stories, and took their photographs. That day, as we were sitting on the banks of a river, Aditya said to me, "Srishti, I want to tell you something." My heart started pounding. "What?" I asked. "I love you," he said. "You make my life more beautiful. I can't imagine my life without you." My eyes filled with tears. I said, "Aditya, I love you too. But I am scared. I have broken down before." He held my hand tightly and said, "I promise, I will never break your heart. We will write our story together." I looked into his eyes. There was truth in them. There was love. I said yes. Today, 2 years later, Aditya and I are together. We are married, and now we live in a small house in Pune. Aditya still does his photography, and I now teach literature to children in a school. Our lives are not perfect. Sometimes we have small fights, but we never give up on each other. Every night, when we sit in our small garden and look at the stars, I feel life has given me a second chance. And this time, I am living it to the fullest.